Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I was wondering, have you ever had a small gas station chain or something like that in your neighborhood? Hmm? Something like Bucky's? Hello, everyone. Don't mind the mess here. Oh, these? That was painted by my mom. That one by my sister. Her name was Julia. Is Julia. I don't know her last name. Don't know where she is. But if she is out there listening and watching my uh, whatever this is, then uh, try and find me. Hook me up on here and I'll tell you where to find me. Sorry, I had to close that door. I'm going outside currently. That's why you are feeling me like this. So, hold on. I gotta show you something real life changing right now in my cousin's life. Now, I don't know if you can see this, folks. Probably not. You're staring at a wall. Look at that. D&D basic rules. And no, I'm not talking about dragons and dinosaurs. That's Dungeons and Dragons. So, March 22nd, which is this month, coming up, I think, sometime this week, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to come over here on this side because I think the lighting's better over here, hitting my face. Ugh. You'll have to tell me. But anyways, March 22nd. Of course, it couldn't be May, but March 22nd, they're gonna have like a powwow of sort of a lot of people. And so I didn't really, I don't know what to say, really. I don't have anything story-wise or anything off the top of my head. I just wanted to come on and say hello. Oh, I am doing a live of some sort tonight at 9. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know what time, or excuse me, I do know what time. I don't know what type of live. If it'll be like a gaming live session or what. Um, as of walking, I had to tone it down a bit because one, I was getting too tired. Two, it was raining and icky. So I didn't go because of those reasons. Monday, which is tomorrow, my time, because today is Sunday, when the day I'm recording this. In other countries and states here in the America, why did I say it like that? Oh well, in America, you have some that are time zones that are 7 o'clock in the Monday morning. Yeah, I know. Crazy. Crazy. That's a topic that I could talk about. Time zones and how crazy they are. Because you go from here to Missouri and you're like, where did the time go? Literally, it's a step back. So you're literally thinking to yourself when you get there, wait a minute, didn't I have an extra hour? Well, I don't know if that's happened to you or anything because, you know, I don't know how, excuse me, I don't know how many people stay, you know, up all night or whatever, but I can't be doing that though if I do that. Um, no, but I digress. I wasn't going to say that. What I was going to say was I don't know how many people are older like I am. So here's a task for y'all. Well, not really a task, something that y'all can do if y'all want to. Write down in the comments down there below, and while you're down there, please like and subscribe. It's that little button down there that has the letter S at the beginning. And if you like my stuff, if you love hearing from me, if you love anything about me, the hats I wear, the clothing that I have on sometimes. This particular clothing came from Buc-ee's. So, but yeah, Buc-ee's is an interesting place. And like I was saying, anyways, if you like this type of content that is spontaneous and not spontaneous combustion, that's a different thing. Uh, if you like a content that is spontaneous, different from all others, funny enough to make you be like, wow, that guy's weird, and to which I'll be saying thank you, because normal is boring. Oh, I do have a story. That's the story that I'm wanting to tell you. So, when I was little, and I remember this vaguely, but when I was younger, my mom took me to a pediatric hospital, the Bluebird Clinic in Houston. And yeah, the docs can be kind of weird because they're used to dealing with kids of the ages of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on, younger ones. Y'all knew I had to throw that one in. Anyways, as I was saying, I went to the pediatrician there because they took care of me well. Bluebird Clinic is what it was called. Don't know what it's called now, but they had this doctor that came out and had all kinds of puppets. Here, let me scoot you back so you don't see my pores. Anyways, not that I have any. I mean, they're all covered up and all beautified. So yeah. I keep on telling you about shaving of the beard. I just haven't gotten around to that yet. One day, it'll be all gone, and you'll be able to see the smile for all the glory it is. No, but anyways, what was I saying? Isn't it funny how memory works? 1 minute, 1 minute, you're talking and remembering the things that you were doing. Oh, yes, okay, now I remember. After forgetting what I was going to say, I remembered what I was going to say from before because I was talking about the things that you forget. See how that works? Oh boy. Oh dear me. Anyways, yes, I'm an older spirit because I came from a background where my ancestors, my aunts and uncles, would all do silly things. You know, matter of fact, one of my aunts were exactly a redneck. So I pride myself on being one and stuff. But back to the story, my mother took me to Bluebird Clinic, and the doctor had all of this different type of puppets and everything, and playing with me and that kind of thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I like puppets, I love puppets, I have a few in my room. I just don't want them all up in my face like that, you know? So he was sitting there. Oh, hello there. How are you doing? I am Mr. Tortoise from Tortoiseville. I was thinking, original, Doc. Really original. Then I looked at my mom, looked at the doctor, looked at my mother, looked back at the doctor, said, Doc, you're weird. He had this puzzle look upon his face. Not a puzzle face, because, it didn't. I'm straying off the path again. Anyways, he had a puzzled look upon his face, and I kind of saw, he was thinking something or rather like, uh-oh, did I overdo it? And so I said, oh, no, 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 Doc. At my house, normal is boring. So wherever you go in life, remember that. Normal is boring. You don't want to be one of the normal guys. You want to always, or girls, you've always want to be one of those types who is a little bit bizarre, a little bit wacky, a little bit uh, crazy, a little bit, silly and foolish. Because what was that song? Boom, boom, man, it's great to be crazy. Boom, boom, man, it's great to be crazy. Silly and foolish all day long. Boom, boom, man, it's great to be crazy. And if you want me to bring that song into reality and actually make it like a song posted here on YouTube, I will. Because I know the whole lyrics. The horse, flea, three blind mice one. Yeah. And the reason why I know it is because my mother used to sing it to me all the time, whether I'm going to bed or not. So it was just something that we could do as fun. Isn't it funny the things that we do remember and then the things that we don't remember? Like right now, I don't remember my mama's laugh. I know it was infectious. I know that she had a great laugh, you know? I know that she enjoyed life. I know that she loved people. I know that when she did laugh, she had a joyous one. I just don't remember the sound of it, though. Like, the other day, I was just telling myself, oh, I need to tell my mom this. She would get a kick out of it. But over 16, no, more than that, over 20 to 30 years ago, my mama would have died. So I'm not telling you this to, harbor like any, oh, I'm so sorry, or it's been long enough. And those people that say, move on, easy for you to say. You have not had anybody who died upon your the deathbed in your life then. You are to have respect for families. at least have some manner of description on how you say things, what you say. Okay? I understand that this world is going to hell in a handbasket, but my choice is to live God's life, God's ways, not my own. Because if I live my own life, if I did what I wanted to do, I'd be living a sinful life. That's just human nature. Human nature is sinful. We deserve death. But yet, God, Hashem, in all of His glory and might and mercifulness, has graced us, has blessed us. He sent His only Son to die for our sins, so that we won't have to die. Well, peeps, looks like it's going to rain yet again tonight. I hope you remain nice and safe, family. I may or may not be doing a live tonight, depending on the weather. I'll have to see. If it doesn't rain, you'll get to see the live. If it rains, well, next Sunday is your live, I guess. Or I might even do it on a Saturday. No. Saturdays are reserved for biblical stories and biblical topics, that kind of thing. You know, because I want to put good out into the world. You know, it said that if you put good out into the world, good will come. You know, karma. I don't really believe in karma. I believe that you do something nice for somebody, you feel nice because you did a good thing. That's what I believe. Speaking of what I believe also, I've just been thinking, like at this very second, isn't it great how the Lord talks to you a lot of times? Like, I'll give you an example. Before I left for 3 months, and that's been a while ago, since last July, and it was July 3rd actually. Got there, went to bed. No, July 3rd. Got there towards the afternoon, had lunch, had dinner, went to bed, got up early that morning and that next morning, went to help with the 4th of July parade at St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Marshfield, Missouri. But that's neither here or there. But what I was talking about before I left for 3 months, I was out here with Pepe, and the light was on. And so I was talking to the Lord like I usually do. Because, you know, I have a daily conversation, even though he doesn't answer me verbally. Um, I asked him if he wanted me to go, you know, on a synagogue, to a synagogue to worship, you know. And now I didn't get enough information because my heart is saying go with a Messianic Jew synagogue, not a Orthodox Jew. And if you don't understand the difference, please look it up. I don't wish to discuss that right now, but I just didn't feel comfortable with, and I say didn't because at that time it was uncomfortable. Now if they'd asked, do you want to go? I'd probably say yes. But anyways, so getting back to the story, I was walking the dog outside in the backyard, going potty and whatnot, talking to the Lord. Asked him if I should go back to synagogue when I get back. Not knowing that something of a fallout would happen when I got back and everything changed. Now, a cousin of mine told me not all change is bad change. But not all change is good change either. So if you have a chance, if you have a change in your life, ask yourself, is it a bad change? Sure, you might move away from your friends and your family that you are going to miss, but ultimately, are you going to, like, have new friends and, like, make new whatever? That wasn't in my outlook. Okay, that wasn't me at the time. Now, I get to do what I can, you know, with y'all, with YouTube. But let me get back to the story. So I was out here walking Pepe, talking to the Lord about a synagogue. Said, Lord, please show me that you're here with me. I know you are, but I just want a sign, please. And what happened? Well, that street light turns on, kind of like it just did. And the reason why I'm not in shock or awe or whatever is because it does that from time to time. Yes, I know in the comments you're going to be like, oh, it's just reading off the darkness of the sky. Well, the light of the sky is pretty light and everything. But anyways, so I asked the Lord, should I go back to synagogue when I get back? The light turns on. I asked, should I stop going to synagogue altogether? Should I, and then at that point it turns off. So I was like, if they don't believe in you as being the Messiah, should I go? It stayed off. And then something happened. It turned on. Brighter than it used to be. I'm like, okay, so this is you saying that yes, I do want you to go because, and so I filled in the blanks that me planting the seeds of what I believe could ultimately help them change into believing that Yeshua is who I think he is. But I come from different walks of backgrounds of religion that I can take parts of each one and know that each one in its own is right. However, in each part of that little bitty pieces, there are wrong things too. Like, let me give you an example of what I don't celebrate and sometimes wish I do. Christmas. Now, if y'all celebrate it, that's fine. I'm not telling you not to. I'm just telling you some things that I don't do. You're saying to yourself, and me probably, but midnight, that is Jesus' birthday. Incorrect. Because we don't know, the Bible doesn't specifically tell us when Jesus was born. We can add up numbers and all that kind of thing, but are you a mathematician? Are you a scientist that can hone down to when, that happens? No. Neither am I. So, but I do know that, because it said, see, we, Christians, that is, believe that December 25th is his birthday. But as a teacher once taught me, that Jesus would have been born in somewhere where it would be hot, not somewhere would it be nice and cold. The other thing is Easter. Like, huh? I understand that Easter is supposed to be, a joyous thing. And believe me, back in St. Paul Lutheran Church, I partook of it. We didn't do the dipping of eggs and everything. It was more about praising God for who he is. Another one that we didn't do, but a lot of Catholics and other people do too, and that's St. Patrick's Day. I don't get that. Why are they worshiping a little green man running around the fields with a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? I mean, they're not aliens. sorry, that was a motorcycle that loves to have his uh, engine and everything, way up loud. Anyways, but those, like, holidays or whatever, here's another one. April Fool's Day. I don't like that. That day is not funny to me. Pretty much it's because I can't take a joke. I'm not one to uh, poke fun at others, and if I do, it won't be on that day. See, I have my own little April Fools, and it's on December 25th. I'm sorry. I kid y'all. But, yeah, those days I just don't celebrate, and it always been that way. Kind of like if you were raised up with Christmas, and that's all you knew, you won't be changing just because some guy on YouTube said it was wrong. Right? Now, don't get your little whitey-tighties all in a bunch here. I'm not saying it's wrong. If you believe that Jesus was born on that day, then by all means, celebrate it. Not his birth, but him coming into the world, him living out his life perfect in every single way, and then dying the death of salvation for us. By all means. Otherwise, you know, now let's talk about parenting 101. And before we do that, I need to take out the trash. But, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to hold this off until tomorrow's vlog. Y'all have been wonderful. I love you. God loves you. Your parents, grandparents loves you. Cousins. So, oh, by the way, if you have someone that is distancing yourself from another one, and yet they are younger than you, write a letter. Tell them how much you mean to them. How much you're sorry to lash out. Because even if you don't understand why you're doing it, you're still doing it. If you're wrong for it, tell them, hey, I was wrong for that. I'm sorry. Can you forgive me? Let me end with this story. So Friday night, before dinner and stuff, you know that I have Shabbat dinner every Friday night. Sometimes by myself. Not all the time. Mostly I have family that I can go to, so I'm blessed in that way. I'm blessed in many ways, but just, that's just one part of the way. So I was over there, sat down, wrote her a note on my phone, because I have a notes app, wrote it on my phone, and asked her to read it. She said, how come you can't read it? I'm like, I could, but did you really want me to be stuttering? I'd take just as long as you would. She laughed and said, okay. So she read. She said, how do I take it off of here? And that's because the keyboard was up. I'm like, really? You don't know what the back button is? But I have to remember she's used to the iPad and iPhone, that kind of thing. On the iPad and iPhone, there is no back button. On Androids, there are. So I helped her, and she goes, thank you. Which, you know what? Now that I remember, that is the first time she ever said thank you to me. So, but anyways, she read it. She said, slay. And I knew that was good. So anyways, I will see you either tomorrow or tonight in my life, depending on whether God wants to keep the rain away from this place for now. But anyways, God bless. See you later. Bye.